Greetings, Hypenese. My name is HyperHimes, and welcome to episode 27 of Terraria. In the last episode, we managed to do some stuff about the Old One's army, the little special interesting event. And now I am here on Flopside. Now you might be asking, what am I doing here on Flopside? Well, if I just take a gander over here, I made this. In today's episode, I'm probably going to be doing one of the biggest challenges that Terraria has to offer, and that's defeating the Dungeon Guardian on Expert mode. This is only episode 27, and I'm not even into hard mode yet. So, how I'm going to do this. I have my spawn point set right here. So here's my plan. I have my spawn point set right here. I have recall potions, so I don't instantly die. I have to walk all the way down here, trigger the Dungeon Guardian, and you know he gets triggered. You know he gets triggered because he does the roar. I'm going to drink my potion. I'm going to go up here, and then I'm going to do my best to get him in a loop where I can just drive around him, and then I'm going to shoot him with my countless amounts of arrows. So before I do that, let me just store a bunch of things I need. What didn't I need? So real quick, I need that, guaranteed. Don't need the rails, really. That. Is that it? Guess that's really all I need. I gotta put this in my hotbar. So I guess there's really no other way to do this than just to plebbing do it. Let me just train for a little bit. Oh, that'd be bad if I missed that. Alright, keep that in mind. Alright, so if I ran over here, he'd be coming up. Oh, I gotta go this way. And then what would happen is I bounce off here. I bounce off here. And I bounce off here. And I bounce off here. And then I end up being an infinite loop. Whoa, I just went real far right there. So I'm gonna give it a couple attempts. And last thing, let me save my money so I literally lose nothing before I die. You're probably gonna see a couple failed attempts, to be honest. But you know what? I think it'll be worth. So, sure, let's give it my good old-fashioned try. I should probably light this place up first. Kind of sacrificial. I don't know when he spawns. Oh. That's bad. That's okay. So that happened. All right. Well, we got an unlucky spawn there, basically, because, well, I guess I could have made him like fly toward us, but yeah, attempts always matter. Hello there, my beautiful looking pet. Our HP doesn't matter as well because he just kills us in one hit. So let's try it again. Oh, that was another bad spawn. I probably should travel a bit more down, to be honest, because apparently he's just spawning above my head. By the way, this is probably going to be a long episode. Just bear in mind that it's most likely going to be a pretty long episode. So if I can just try this once again, you're gonna probably see a bunch of this. Hey. Really? Really? Dog. I'm freaking right here. Really? It's not gonna be this easy. Dude, what? Ooh, okay. What just happened? Oh, maybe I didn't get enough speed, but didn't matter because apparently I just went down for so... What the frick just happened there, by the way? Okay, by the way, I needed to gain speed, or else this would not have worked. Man, I'd be lost in direction if that happens. Oh, again. With feeling this time. Is there an ant on me? Feels like there's an ant on me. Or was that a fruit fly? I don't know. Come on, buddy. You apparently like spawning up here a lot more, don't you? I'll just take one of these. Oh, I can't even. What can I throw out? Sure. Come on, buddy. Are you just like annoyed? Do you just like, are you not interested anymore? Is he, like, sparing me or something? Because that's not what I want, you know. This might take a minute. I hate you. You suck. You suck. Had to make me sip out of water for that one, you freaking pleb. Oh my gosh. Why? I was just leaving. Oh my gosh, that's actually... That's funny. That's funny. I'll give it to you. If that's your sense of comedy, that's funny. Now go back up here. Oh! I didn't get enough speed. Okay, so honestly, we know that it's possible now. I just had to do the same thing. The thing was, I just didn't know if I had to keep holding forward or backwards because I'm not sure how rail controls work like this. I never really managed, you know, to handle with a loop. But I think I just have to keep holding forward is the thing. And if I'm able to do that, then I can gain enough speed to run for the Guardian, make him go in the middle or something like that. And then I'm able to actually defeat him. Or at least have a possibility of defeating him. Which, that'd be just genius. Except the sucky part is that I gotta wait here again. Which sucks. Again. Alright. Okay, I went slow again. I have to keep holding forward. I have to keep holding forward. And that's just the meta. That's just the meta. Or it has to be timed perfectly. But it's possible. It's possible. I swear it's possible. Trust me. Trust me on this. I'm not going insane. But you gotta keep going. Keep going. We're gonna keep this going until we get it. Okay, we're down here again with our little itty bitty shadow orb. He seems to always spawn above us, unless if we go deep down, then he decides to spawn under us, I guess. We just gotta wait again. Like normal. Maybe we can go a tiny bit, like, toe deep deeper, just so we can gain a tiny bit more time. And by a tiny bit, like a couple milliseconds. Is this spawn rate, like, randomized now? Because it should be, like, guaranteed. He didn't even come for me. He didn't even come for me. It has to be above that, I guess. It has to be, like, way up above. Because if it's deep, then it ain't gonna work. I'm gonna run out of... And I could use the magic mirror. Don't get me wrong. I could use the magic mirror. But the reason I have recall potions is because it's a lot more quicker of a teleportation. At least by, like, I don't know, half a second. And that half a second could mean a lot of things. Trust me. So, like, stay around this general region. I'm focusing more on my map, if anything, because you can see the tiny little skull that spawns. This is a bad idea, just viewing on the map, because then I wouldn't be able to teleport. Unless the B button counts as teleport. I doubt it. They wouldn't, like, allow that to happen. Hello? Peekaboo. Oh, you ate the food now. I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. Abort mission. Abort mission. B. Abort mission. I like how the glow stick actually triggered him for some reason. Alright. Actually get on it this time. It just... Okay, I guess that didn't work that time. For some odd reason. Oh my gosh, did I do it? I think I did it. I think I got him into the loop. Oh my gosh, I think I did it. Alright. Now this is the really confusing part, and that's actually shooting him. But even then so, he can't reach me. I'm too quick for him. I'm too fast. I'm in the meta. Alright, so, as you can tell, he has literally 19,998 HP. And yeah, for like, something boss-wise, it doesn't seem like a lot, right? Actually, it does seem like a decent amount, but with our damage output, you think it wouldn't be much. But you're forgetting that, this boy takes hits hard. He has, like, insane defense. So much defense where if you literally just hit him, it only does 1 damage. Like, no joke, it just does 1 damage. I could just yo-yo him like this. It just does 1 damage. And if you get a critical hit, you'd be lucky if you got 2 hits. So that'd be nice. And also, just in case if some rogue eyeball comes out and tries to kill me, I got Obsidian Shield ready to give me immunity to this knockback. And I really can't check his health, but I don't think it's as far right now. I think it's only a couple hundred. But also, it's a good thing I got a surplus of arrows so I can just keep shooting, and also sometimes have a bee do some damage. And the reason why I stuck to the bee's knees was because with the bees doing these extra amount of damage, I think they would be really helpful. To also give me, like, you know, an extra surplus of damage. Because, you know, not only does an arrow from the bee's knees hit the enemy, like, once, so that already does 1 damage to Skeletron, but basically, it does more than 1 because it scatters into a ton of bees that shoot into him. So that's fun. Now the only big issue is just waiting. And by waiting, I literally mean waiting. Like, no joke. It's going to take a freaking long time to beat him. And luckily, I don't think the lag's gonna stop me, really. But it's still gonna take so plebbing long. And I would recommend doing this in easy mode, not by easy mode, I mean just normal mode, not expert mode, because on expert mode, he has 19,998 HP. If you were innocent and fortunate enough to do this in normal, he only has 9,999. And that's still a lot, considering that he literally takes only 1 damage, and 2 if you get a critical strike chance. If you want my advice, I kind of went into the sloppy, because if you really want to have the most efficient, like, Dungeon Guardian kill, have all of your tools be lucky. Do I even have a... Swap that in. Plus... Oh, that's in too, so, get that in. Is there anything else that's lucky? Oh, an Amber. Frostbark? Yeah, Tackle Box. Just get all lucky. Just to get the most amount of damage output there as possible. As long as I still have my Obsidian Shield on. Shield! As long as I have my Obsidian Shield, then I should be swell. A Cobalt Shield works just the same. So, hopefully this will be sped up just a tiny bit more, because plebbing the Dungeon Guardian, man, you don't mess with this pleb. And also, it's a good thing, because there could have been a chance that more than one could have spawned in the dungeon. And that would have sucked. Really bad. So I guess really, it's all about waiting at this point. And to be honest, it's kind of hard when all you're doing is just clicking, and you really can't see the enemy's health that well. Hold on, I gotta, like, time this perfectly. What did that say? Did I say 18,711? 18,711. So, at the very least, we're 1,000 done. All I have, and the best part about it is, once you get that, you know, the running speed done, then you don't have to hold the arrows or anything. You just sit back and click. That's it. So I can literally, and even you don't have to click. You can technically stay like this forever. I am just at a point where I am slightly faster than him in this infinite loop. So he can't catch me at all. And even if a zombie were to interfere, and guess what, my guy? I got the plebbing Cobalt, aka Obsidian Shield. So basically the knockback would do nothing. So I could just be intriguing this fight one by one. Oh, now it's raining too, so I guess that's something that can happen. I'm going to be mad though if somehow there's something that can stop me here, but I'm not sure what exactly can. Enemies really can't. And plus, even since it's raining, if one of those like pleb birds run into me, either my bees are going to handle them first because there's just a surplus amount that's attacking. But also, considering that I'm in the minecart, I'm gonna ram him and kill him. Especially a more powerful minecart than the basic one that you always start with, which is none. So there's that going. See, I just heard something die right there. Plus, don't even think about, you know, just going after this pleb with, you know, oh, just so much defense. This guy will chew you up like the skull he is with his teeth. He will destroy you in one hit. It doesn't matter how much damage you do. The only thing I think that could, you know, prevent you from dying is some sort of tool in hard mode. But, you know, I want to get this done as early as possible. I don't want to make future problems, you know, turn into current problems. Or I guess you could say that I don't want to turn current problems into future problems, but you know the shtick. I just want to deal with tasks that I could deal with in the future, but why not I do them now, just so I can get them done? It's kind of a genius way of looking at it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I could actually just shoot the ground and just summon bees. I could actually, maybe I could actually rely on my summon boy. Or should I just be safe about it? Because what if he, like, goofs me up somehow? I don't know. See, look, the living boy's got him. Oh, and for some reason, the guide moved in. Hello, guide. So, in normal terms, we'd probably be basically around, like, if we were playing a normal mode and not expert mode, we'd probably be, like, 1/4 of the way done. Which, that'd be a solid episode. Because this would take around like 30 minutes, but we're only 1/8 of a way done, just about. A bit less, but hey, I'm trying here. And you're going to experience tiny bits of lag, but luckily it's nothing that can stop me. Because I'm having a good time, I'm going to be actually mad if like he's just like slowly like 1 pixel faster. By like 0.001 seconds, and by the time he's only like at a couple hundred HP, he's somehow going to reach me and kill me. And if that's the case, then I'm just rather going to do this off camera. The only thing I just need to worry about is my management of ammo. But to be honest, I don't think that's a big problem at all. I'm legitimately scared to hit the escape button. Because I feel like if I hit escape, it's going to make me escape from the minecart. That's how paranoid I am. So are we at 16,000 now? And all it takes is just a bit of me talking. 16,000. If only I could see. 16,750 or 570, somewhere around those lines. But yeah, we're doing good. This is definitely going to take a couple of nights though, and don't expect anything else to be done this episode because it's just this. Because there's no way I can squeeze anything else into an episode like this one. So just enjoy the show of me slaying probably the hardest, you know, or at least one of the hardest entities. I wouldn't even call this a boss or an enemy, just an entity. Just enjoy me slaying. Enjoy me slaying probably what is the hardest entity in this game. Oh, big lag spike. Though also, I need to give a mention to someone because without their help, I would not have been able to do this. I want to give a huge shout out to a YouTuber who, of course, he's popular than me, but like, just a huge shout out to a YouTuber known as Crabbar, who basically is doing an entire Terraria series where he's on a minecart the entire flipping time. I'm not even making that up. I've seen like summoner only Let's Plays, like melee only, even yo-yo onlys and other challenges like that, but plebbing only on a chariot? That's insane. I mean, of course he focuses on the melee combat, but like, the whole time he's not going to be walking. That's insane. That's like lazy, but so innovative. I say lazy, but like, it's not lazy. It's actually really impressive. I'm just saying in lazy terms of like, if you were a human trying to do that. But the reason why I'm shouting him out is because this is kind of the same concept that he did in his series, where basically he made this giant loop. And in hard mode, well, expert mode is what I mean. Man, I'm gonna really mess up. Just bear with me. I'm gonna really mess up the terms hard mode, expert mode, and hardcore. So please bear with me. But like, also he did this as well in expert mode, but I'm pretty sure he did a different way. He used frostburn arrows as well, which honestly I could see those working as well. But I honestly feel like the bee's knees work just as well because of the multi-hits of the bees. And also the cheap price of wooden arrows. That's at least how I feel. But either way, both works. And also because he made the same exact design of the loop. Like this rail loop. And I didn't even know how rails work But when I watched this series, it kind of inspired me to not only make this loop thing, but also the plebing railway. No joke, because he is that awesome of a guy. So I need to please tell you to go and subscribe to his channel, because he's an amazing content creator. He does more than just Terraria. He does a Hat in Time and a bunch of other things. It's pretty awesome. So I recommend please give him a shout out, because without him, this would have been way harder. This would have taken a lot more pain and suffering to get through. So with that being said, how far am I into this fight? He's at around 15,500 health. He's actually, and also he's relatively close, but he's not close enough to hit me. But he is at a close enough point where my arrows can do like accurate shots at him, which is great. I say as I miss a ton of times. See, look, I just rammed into that flying bird and it killed him. All right, hold on. Let me just take a quick sip. Hold on. No hands. Hey. No freaking hands. Though granted, the bees do despawn, but I'm just saying. This takes time and dedication. Trust me. Anyway, let's continue. At this speed, this should be going like, I don't know how fast, but hopefully semi-fast. Ooh, that lag ain't gonna help though. Let's hope the recording doesn't crash. I've been doing long recordings for a while now. Like, relatively long recordings for multiple series. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there was a really long recording in Undertale. There's a really long two really long recordings in Minecraft Parkour. And I'm not gonna spoil anything else. There are reasons why they're long, trust me. And you can see easily in the videos, so just bear in mind, they exist. Honestly, I can't think of an easier and more accessible way to defeat this Dungeon Guardian. It does take a bit of supplies, like getting the arrows of the bee's knees in general. That takes a bit of money. Gathering up all the rails and learning how the physics work. And also the recall potions. But to be honest, those are kind of cheap unless if you're willing to scrape up the money to get all of those arrows for, you know, Ghostrun, or Dungeon Guardian. Fun fact that I can tell you, people. Did you know that if you're fighting Skeletron, or another future boss, and it turns to daytime, then Skeletron doesn't respawn. He turns into a Skeletronized version of the Dungeon Guardian. Or, you know, he just becomes Dungeon Guardian and only becomes a really fast spinning head like this guy is now. You can still damage him for the same amount of damage, of course. Like, he doesn't just abruptly get a high defense like this pleb does. But you can still kill him. It's just he can kill you in one hit though. So his attack changes to just one hit killing you, but you can still have the capabilities of killing him if you just, I don't know, run. I guess that's really the only way to explain it. Yeah, this might take a bit. So maybe I could, like, honestly what I could do is I could just, you know, not talk for a minute. Well, definitely not a minute, but like, you know, just not talk for a bit until he gets to a milestone of health, like, you know, 10,000, who knows. But to be honest, I kind of like doing something like this with you. Yeah, of course, it's kind of annoying just hearing this the whole entire thing, but it's really interesting to see that, like, you know, on episode 25, I did an episode that, like, half of it had to do with, like, you know, queen bee grinding, like, nothing really that important, other than getting money and stuff like that, but also had something to do with getting the hardest achievement in all of Terraria, and I'm not even in hardcore, or, like, hard mode yet, I'm sorry, hard mode, which is insane. I honestly think that's just amazing. And now I'm on episode 27, which is now having to do with one of the hardest Terraria entities of all time. No joke. One of the hardest. I think we're just entering 13,000 HP range. The most tricky thing about this fight is honestly, because it's the only thing to worry about this fight, is the capabilities of moving your mouse. You don't, especially if you're limited on arrows, you don't want to miss your arrows. Do you really want to miss arrows? That'd be wasted supplies. Also, another thing about Crab Bar's way is since he had Frostburn arrows, he was also limited, because, it was Frostburn arrows, and unlike the Bee's Knees, those arrows actually drop. Bee's Knees arrows, which are just shooting straight at bees, they don't drop. They just shoot and then they're gone. But also what he did in his design is that he, like, put little platforms in the middle of the loop so he could catch arrows that he missed. Or, that they hit or they dropped. Which, honestly, I find that really nice to hear. Because it's just another way to make it easier for you to defeat one of the hardest Terraria entities of all time. This is definitely going to be a clicking workout for my hand. And I played Cookie Clicker, and that's a really addicting game. There's a couple really interesting, like, clicking, like, games that, I would recommend. One of them would be Candy Box, specifically the sequel, Candy Box 2. My brother showed me that game, and honestly, at first I was like, I really don't understand this game, like, what's the point? So then I stopped playing it. Literally years later, he brought it up again, and I was just like, oh, what's that game about? And then he showed it to me, and I'm like, oh, it's not that fun, but I think I'll give it a bit of a try since I'm more open-ended. Like, because my reasoning was, like, it wasn't as vibrant or, like, as interesting as Cookie Clicker, because the graphics just looked so dullish in a way. And by dullish, I mean there was just, like, black with, like, every single object looking like a keyboard, like a button. Like, parenthesis left connected to parenthesis right and stuff like that. But the thing was, the more you get into the game, the more insanely fun it gets. Like, I would recommend Candy Box, or Candy Box 2 to anyone. That game is really fun, is really addicting, and really do recommend it. Okie dokie, so let's do a normal health check. How far are you? 12,000 range. If this were normal mode, then I'd just, would it be easy mode or expert mode, whatever? What's the opposite of expert mode? Just normal? I'm not sure. But, like, in normal play, I would be, like, 3/4 of the way done, but I'm not even at half. So this is gonna definitely take my time and patience. Especially, also gotta consider the fact the amount of arrows that I hit and arrows that I miss. Plus the amount of bees that attack, and also gotta take into consideration what hits what. For a second, I thought he just instantly died there, but no, that was a slime. I thought his body just skedaddled out of there. Luckily, a really great thing about this is that he doesn't despawn either. If it's day, night, an event, or whatever, he just won't despawn. It's fine. I'm only thinking of, like, a couple things that could really stop this from happening. But I don't think it's really happened in this world yet. No, it definitely has. But maybe has it? I don't remember. I don't want to really check to find out, at least on, like, a freaking map. Because I'm this far into the paint. Well, that lag was terrifying. You saw it on camera. I saw it. Everyone plebing saw it. So this is gonna take a bit. Well, wait, I'm gonna take another swig into my drink. Because it's taking a while. This feels like a podcast, to be honest. No joke, it actually does. It just feels like a podcast that I don't know, do. If I could do a podcast with friends, I would. But the thing is, my friends, they are way busy. Considering that we don't see each other in school as much. It's a fun fact. Like, all of them have, 1 year of higher education than I do. All of my friends do. And I don't judge them for that. They're really great people. It's really my bad on my end because I wasn't able to pass 7th grade on the first year because it was a mixture of math being ridiculously stupid, particularly algebra, and my English teacher, or just English in general, being way harder than I thought it was. Nowadays, if you looked at me in senior year, I'm killing it in classes. Like, literally, nothing is owed. Like, and if something is owed, I literally do it immediately. Whatever class you can tell me that's owed, it's basically worth my time doing. Oh, by the way, it stopped raining. Neat. Anyway, Also, me being a senior year, I took another class known as GEM. GEM, which is Government, Environment, and Manufacturing, I think. It's GEM, it's Government, Economics, and Money? It's not money. Manufacturing? Oh, mentoring, yeah. Government, Economics, and Mentoring. And in that class, you could do a couple things, but I think the two main ones were you could mentor freshman students if you're a senior, or you could do community service. Literally everyone in my class, except for two girls who are really nice people, literally did mentoring, and me and the two girls were the only ones who did community service. So when I mean I do community service, I do community service. Like, no joke. Like, I do more than just community service in school. I do it outside, everywhere, whenever I can. And the most important thing about that is that whenever I do community service, whenever I mark down a good deed that I do, like a really good deed, I mark it down on a little notebook just so I can give evidence to the gem teacher just to know that I am doing good. Now, I guess I could go into detail on some of the good things I do. One of the things that there was mainly you can do these participating activities where you can get a couple hours. If you want to do community service, your main goal is to get 20 hours of it, and that's it. And one of the things I did basically required me to have an hour and 30 minutes into it, but I think I put it up to around an hour and 45 because the event that I did also had this raffle that I helped give out the prizes to. So, there's that. Also, how many arrows do I have? Wow, I think I arrived here with a lot more arrows than I thought. Well, it's a good thing at least I stored up for them. I'm actually really close to at least being halfway done, which is really nice. But anyway, some of the community service things that I do is literally mark every single piece of trash on the floor that let's say this is inside the school. Like, let's put the setting inside the school, because that's where, like, nearly all of my community service goes. I pick up nearly every single trash, that is on the ground. Like, if there's even a scrap piece of paper on the ground, I mark that as litter. If there's, like, I don't know, like a snack wrapper, like candy wrapper, gum wrapper, you find hundreds of those on the ground, trust me. I mark that each and every one of those down as litter. And I make a little checklist. And I'm nearly at the hundreds. I think I'm around 70 something, and that's just because the year just started. I recently started like dedicating community service stuff. Next thing, I actually had a big role in this. There was a thing in my lunchroom where, you'll never believe it, they had these trash cans, right? But also outside the lunchroom, there were these little bucket things, right? And what those bucket things were? They were basically trash cans, but more importantly, recycling bins for bottles. More like donation bins, if you would so please. And the most shocking part about it is that when I looked in the bathroom, whoa, that'd actually be interesting. But when I looked in the lunchroom, particularly one of them, because there's more than one, I looked inside and there was no bucket of some sort. Because you think you would have those in one of the most important rooms where people would drink, the lunchroom. It's not even that they bring their own drinks. You can literally buy canned sodas or canned drinks in there, bottled drinks, whatever. You buy them in there, and I think it's just shocking how they didn't have those at the beginning. So what did I do? I went to the higher-ups. I really don't know how you call the higher-ups at school, so I just call them the higher-ups. Basically the people who do all the big girl stuff. And I told them, hey, I find it interesting that you have all of these things going, like all these buckets already around to collect cans, but you don't have them in the most important room of them all, which is can-reliant, or drink-reliant, importantly, the lunchroom. And then they said, you do have a point. I'm interested. Man, you're right. Surprised that we didn't even notice that. So 2 days later, you'll never believe what I see in the lunchroom. A big ol', specifically 2 big ol' things where you can put your cans and bottles for recycling and donation. And I felt so happy because that's a big thing if it comes to community service. Because technically, if everything Because it's kind of like think of it as an ATM. Because that thing will hold your money. And because of that thing that holds your money that, you know, it's useful. Basically, if someone, at least one person, puts a can inside of there, that goes to me. Like, the money doesn't go to me, of course. It goes to school. But, like, the service of them actually recycling goes to me. Of course, I can't count all that. Unless if I were to manually check the recycling bin. But I straight up helped with it. And it makes me feel really nice about it. And of course, can't forget that when there are the occasional cans and or bottles inside of trash cans instead, I'm the one who's going to have to fish them out and, you know, return them to their better place, which is the recycling bin. And it's not like I'm forced to do it. No, I'm just doing it because I'm literally making myself do community service work. And it's not even like I'm forced to do it. If I want to, I could leave anytime, but I don't want to. Because it's something that I think I'd never be interested in my life, but I am because I love helping people. I'm a helpful person. I'm a really lovey-dovey person. That star almost just hit the Dungeon Guardian. I doubt it would have done much. At the most, it would have done 1 damage, but that's probably the closest anyone's ever going to see to the Dungeon Guardian getting hit, to be honest, by a star. So how far are we? 8,800, which is already really great for how far we've been going. So I'm going to, after that, you know, rant. Not really a rant, just an explanation. Pick another swig. Recording-wise, fun fact, I run with a lot of water. Because it's not the fact that, you know, oh, you're like a water-desperate boy. It's just because, since I talk a lot, I use a lot of my voice's energy. And it has to rehydrate. So remember, if you're gonna go record, become a YouTuber, make sure that you have water. Or at least any drink on standby. Particularly, have a drink that's not carbonated. The reason being is that if you have a carbonated drink before recording, then you're going to experience a lot of this. Are you ready? Peep this out. You're going to experience a lot of this in recordings. That was a burp. You're going to experience those in recordings. And I will admit, I'm guilty of that. Just like right now. Literally stopped myself from burping, but yeah, whatever. Just have a normal drink on standby. Like, even if it's something like, I don't know, if you want something more fruity, like a fruit punch, Hawaiian punch, Capri Sun, Kool-Aid, something like along those lines. Some juice, in general, it doesn't have that much carbonation, or even none at all, to be honest. So, those would be a lot more preferred than, you know, carbonated drinks before recording. Because you need to have a nice, cleared, sore throat. Okay, me saying a nice, clear, sore throat does not make sense. A nice, clear throat when you're kind of dry, I guess you could say. Dry on what to say, and also dry on the fact that, you know, your mouth. I guess there's really no other way to put it. Now what can I talk about, to be honest? I talked about a couple things. What do I talk about here? What can I talk about here? I guess... I'm really trying to think, because also... I'm not even going to spoil some of the things I have to say, because some of those things are spoilery. They have to do with some series, but... I guess I would talk about what I can do in the future. Because by the time that I upload this, it's Halloween. Well, it's not Halloween, but it's October. So I wonder what spooky thing I can do this year. Because I've actually done some. I know one of the big key spooky things that I did was the This Is Halloween parody called Welcome to Hypenese. And honestly, I might do another one of those, to be honest. Like one of those Nightmare Before Christmas parodies. Maybe I could do one of, you know, What's This? Or something else. Because that movie was amazing. And the music in the movie is like amazing. Like top tier 100. Of course, I've done some of the things for something like Christmas as well. Like, you know, I've done a plebby parody. There was a really bad, like, Christmas story that I told that I made it by myself. It wasn't that good.
But also, I did the 8 Days of Xmas, which was originally supposed to be 12, but the royalty-free version of the song that I had only went up to 8 days, not 12. So I literally had to cut out like 4 different other lyrics. And they would have been creative lyrics too, unless if I were to edit the song to make it so that it plays 12 times. So I'm pretty sure that would have been a higher risk for copyright. Which sucks, don't get me wrong. Sucks, but I'm pretty sure it was just safer that way. So I'm wondering what festivities that I can do. I have a couple ideas, but I'm not really gonna just explain them out loud. Even in this podcasty like episode. We're at least for me, we're at 42 minutes. Entering 43 this time. By the time that we finish this episode, it could be like, I don't know, it could be like 55 minutes to be honest. Also, honestly, I'm gonna give you some school advice, okay? May as well, just because, you know, if I was already on that tangent of community service and stuff like that, I may as well give you some advice. Don't procrastinate. Just don't. Do not. Literally do not procrastinate. Do the complete opposite and do everything, like, before it's even, like, required to be due. Because if you do that, then there's literally no stress on your back. Absolutely no stress on your back. You don't have to deal with something later, because just kind of, it's like, it kind of represents how I do stuff in Terraria. If it's a problem that I can deal with now, I'd rather deal with it now than later. Which is also why I'm doing the Dungeon Guardian right now, because I'd rather deal with it now than later. And also do it in an interesting concept where you can basically do this yourself in easy mode, you know, like pre-hard mode, and like normal. You could even do this in like the most extreme circumstances, unless hopefully if you don't fail at first. Like if you're risky, really risky, you could actually legitimately do this relatively quickly in hardcore mode. Just be careful. Just because you be hardcore for doing it doesn't mean that you're invincible. Trust me. I mean, I wouldn't know that myself, but frick, hardcore mode in games is scary. 6,400 just about, that I read that correctly? Or 6,000? No, that's a 6,400. Well, now we're really entering the phase of this. Hopefully, this is basically like the second to last long stretch, or the third to last. Pretty sure the last long stretch is once it reached like, down to 2,000 HP, and the second to last one is where it reaches 4,000. But also with boring things like this, it makes me wonder, you know, how do people do this just doing no commentary? Of course they speed it up and do like stuff like that, but not like the people who do like, you know, text commentary and stuff like that for Terraria videos. People who do that are really cool. But I'm just saying, like, people who literally have the capabilities of speaking but can't find anything to say. Because like, the key thing to being a YouTuber is commentary. You need to have like a conversation the whole entire time with your audience. And it doesn't matter if the video is 5 minutes or something 2 hours. You have to keep that conversation going. And even if it does get boring at times, you just gotta think of other things to say. Even if it's repeating things from a bit back. Just keep talking and you'll do amazing. Because you'll have that viewer interaction, and which is an important thing with the comments, because they'll just, you know, talk to you. Like, they'll have like an opinion to share. Which is honestly why I suggest watching like all of my videos, because I always have some form of a conversation to relate to, at the very least. Or it could just make me, you could just find a video of me just screaming. That could be an option as well. I just realized this whole entire time, it's just bzz, 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 the occasional, and then the mouse clicking, like this whole entire time, with the Terraria music playing in the background. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the worst thing, but pleb. I could have done this like on easy, like made an easy world. But you know, if I were to do that, then I don't think it would make it as much as a special victory. Because this boy, he dropped something, but I'm not going to spoil it until I kill him. But honestly, I'm really glad that this works. And I'm going to be honest, this is legitimately going to be, I think, the first time in this way where I'm going to kill the Dungeon Guardian, which is insane. Now, of course, knock on wood. Hold on. Knocking on wood next to me. Nothing bad happens. And yes, I did indeed knock on wood. I was gonna knock on my desk, but I'm pretty sure that it was also... yeah, it was also wood. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure it was. It was just painted wood. But also, I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure if it was some form of, like, no, this is definitely wood. I guess I wanted to, you know, hit more of a more oak-looking, like, wood. Like, something that obviously looked a lot more like wood than it was. Ooh. Man, imagine commentary, like, being an exercise at, like, an Olympics. Well, I guess that's what commentators are for. You know, at big events like those. Are we at 4,000? I think we just entered 4,000. Oh, we're at 4,500. Again, check. I couldn't tell you. Hold on, maybe I'm gonna get closer. 4,800 or 4,000? Yeah, that's the 4,800. So we're just past plebbing 5,000, which is plebbing amazing already. You know, it makes me remember, since I played Terraria in the past, I'm pretty sure instead of the Dungeon Guardian appearing, in really, absolutely old versions of the game, instead of Dungeon Guardians appearing, they would just spawn a ton of Skeletrons if you tried to enter the dungeon without killing Skeletron first. Like, instead, you would have to go through there, and then you would have to face a ton of Skeletrons. Which actually interests me, because I would like to experience that, but, like, of course, you gotta remember, in old versions of the games, they don't have, like, weapons like, you know, they don't got yo-yos, they don't got the Reaper Sharks, they don't got summoning weapons, they don't even have these bee weapons, or as many potions as before. Like, we have a lot more potions now, is what I mean. Like, a ton of more. And man, back in the old school Terraria days where there was only, like, 4 bosses. You know, King Slime, Eye of Cthulhu, Eater of Worlds, and Skeletron. Which is another thing, because, like, that was back in the day when, you know, Terraria only had one terrible biome to worry about, which was the Corruption. But then they added the Crimson, and boy, how'd you do that changed some things up. Not by much, but, like, it was a different thing. It was like, if you were to start a new character, you'd be shocked, but it was really similar to the Corruption where you didn't have to worry. But it was still different enough to be so, extravagant and, like, marvelous. It's really great. You know, I actually could be right and finish this at around, 55 minutes. But I would have to keep going at it. And honestly, I would not be joking with you guys if I told you that my eyes were getting heavy. Like, it feels like I could fall asleep at this desk right now. No joke. But I guess it's just because I could fall asleep in real life right now. But before I do that, I gotta upload a video and then fall asleep. If I upload a video, I'm basically going to just, like, upload it until it's at 100%. Then once I wake up in the morning tomorrow, publish it, start uploading the next video, then go to school, come home, publish the next video, and then repeat. It's an interesting process, but to be honest, I managed to find a way to make it work. I was actually scared that since school started, I was gonna not have as much time to make 2 videos in one day. Like, I'd be lucky enough to, but it'd be at a much weirder time, because usually when I upload, it was like once a day and once in the afternoon. So I was afraid that I was gonna have to upload 2 in the afternoon at really weird times, like maybe 1 in the afternoon and 1 at night. But through sheer willpower and my beautiful, lovely mother, I was able to get a system running. Because she wakes me up at around 7:16, gives me beautiful breakfast because she's an amazing person. Cannot love my mother enough. Then after I eat, put my new clothes on, you know, after every day, because you gotta have a new change of clothes every day. Go to my computer, quickly throw those ads on once it's at 100%, then publish it, start the next video, and then pack up for school. It feels nice. to be, in a way, organized. Because I guarantee you, how I am in the past does not compare to how I am right now. I have a question. How much HP do we have right now? 3,000. It actually might take up to an hour. I can't believe I'm saying that, but at least I'm having this nice conversation with you guys. Trust me, the next episode, it will not be as long. But I'm just saying, just something like this can only be focused on, something like this can only be done, like, I don't know, more than once in a lifetime, of course. But, like, I was going to say once in a lifetime, but, like, I'm not sure how that would work. You can't really say something can happen once in a lifetime if it does happen again. Unless if you say, you know, like, what I thought I said, you know, what I said, you know, I thought it was not going to be true, but here it is. I was completely wrong. Just say you're wrong, and we'll just be like, you know what, that's fine, because we still get to see something that we thought we'd never see before. That sounds really awesome. Buzz, 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 Lightyear to the rescue. You ever consider that, like, what if Buzz Lightyear was a bee, so he'd literally be Buzz Lightyear? Buzz Lightyear. You know, I'm glad that he's, like, slowly, just so close to dying, because I'm running out of things to say. I can't even see how much HP he has. 2,500. At least rounded to that, by the nearest hundredth. He's 7/8 from being defeated. I was about to say right there, did I mean to say 1/8 or 7/8? But if I said 8/8, then that would have meant he was, you know, 8 out of 8, he would have been defeated. So I would have just been confused right there. And luckily, I still have over 20,000 arrows. I think I geared up a lot more than I thought I needed to. But hey, better to have a lot more supplies than better to have barely any. Because if you don't overstock on what you have, good luck. Like, seriously, good luck. I know the critical hits have something to do with this. Because I came in here expecting that all of my hits were going to just do 1 damage. But I never, like, really considered that it was also going to be bees. And I also really never considered that it was also going to rely on lucky hits. So I just expected that if I bought over 20,000 plus arrows, like I think I bought around 27,000. Yeah, that's the right number, 27,000. And I just kept doing this, then I would guarantee be able to defeat him. But of course, I overbought things. But to be honest, I'm not mad about that. I'm just glad that this is finally close to being done. Yeah, this is definitely not. Yeah, this is definitely probably going to be an hour plus, especially if I were to include an outro like that. Like whatever I used to do. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Anyway. I guess really there's nothing else to talk about, really. I mean, he's close. He isn't close enough to where, like, I can just literally nonchalantly say nothing. And just, you know, he'll just die. It's at a point where it's close, where, like, the finish line is literally, I can see the finish line, but I see it in a place, like, I don't know, if I was at a football field, and it was at the other side of the entire field. Like, I can clearly see it with my own eyes, but it's gonna take a bit of a run just to get there. So, just, yeah. I know people are probably gonna be like, you know, this could have been a little bit more faster if you just put your Nimbus Cloud up, and also have your summoned, your little devil imp summoned. And you know what? You're 100% right. But honestly, I don't care, because I'm just scared that anything is going to mess this up for me. And the biggest thing that could mess this up for me is if my mouse wheel just scrolled over to my recall potions, made me spawn at my bed, and killed me right on the spot. That'd be the absolute worst way to go out. Especially when the Dungeon Guardian is this close to being dead. Because I think he's literally in the hundreds now. Yeah, he's in the hundreds. I think. Yeah, 952 I just saw. Oh, we're close. Once this is done, I can take a victory sip of my water. Because I'm slowly starting to get dry once again. Good thing about like this that I probably said 100 times before is the constant damage, like the constant ticks that are just hitting this enemy. We're close. And I feel so happy that probably after this I can like snuggle in a blanket and like fall asleep like a plebeian sandbag pushed over the floor. That's a way that I would express me falling asleep. Just stand up straight, stand on top of your bed face forward, and then just fall flat onto your face, onto the bed, particularly onto a pillow. That just sounds amazing. But granted, sleep in general just sounds amazing. And I'm guessing we're going to finish this in the middle of the night. So that's something interesting. And I also realized this entire time, at least like 45 minutes would just took, because I'm pretty sure 45 plus minutes, because like the first couple minutes was just me constantly failing at the Dungeon Guardian. And I'm just impressed that I've been able to click this whole entire time. And he's at just not much health left. He's only at 200, just about. And I'm glad that this is nearly coming to an end, because I can finally get one of the rarest items in the game, more particularly one of the hardest achievable items to get in the game. And trust me, this is only available if you haven't defeated Skeletron yet. So honestly, I am just 100% glad that now he's at literally so low health that I've gotten this item, which is the Bone Key. Nothing else. The Bone Key, which summons a baby Skeletron head. Look at that. The graves, the loot spent, all these arrows, which apparently I still had so much of. Oh my gosh, I could probably put this all in a chest. How many arrows did I even use? I'm not sure. If I could tell you at the beginning and end, maybe I could edit it in, but plebing, this is a landmark right here. Oh my eyes. Oh, pleb, it's done. Let me just go ahead and I'm gonna shut my door in here. You should stay indoors at night. You're right. Oh my gosh, look at him. He's spinning around. Oh, victory sip. Here I come. Here it comes. That was more like a victory chug of ice cold water. Thank you for watching this episode. I know it's kind of an abrupt end, but you know, this was all the episode was. It was defeating defeating the Dungeon Guardian, one of the hardest entities that have existed in Terraria. And I can proudly say that I am not only the person to get all the achievements in Terraria and get the Master Fishing achievement, but I am also one of the people who defeats the Dungeon Guardian. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Terraria. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and also share it with your friends for more content like this. And also, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content of my own? Ugh. Oh, I'm tired. And if you haven't yet, you're looking forward to, please be sure to hit the bell notification icon to receive all of my future notifications on this YouTube channel in the near future. But above all else, I will see you in the next video. Hail the Hypenese!